everyone, welcome back to Just One More Opinion. I am Charlie, and I hope you are doing well today. I hope you feel relaxed and revitalized by your surroundings, and maybe music is playing a part in your good mood, as it usually does to mine. In fact, music plays a vital role in my life. I couldn't live without it, and recently I've started learning to play the ukulele. Actually, I'm really excited to finally learn an instrument, and I thought the uke was a great start. But now, I want to share with you my top 10 favorite musical artists right now. My taste in music changes really quickly, and even though today these are my favorite singers around, next month that will be different. So bear that in mind as I share this with you. So let's go. Okay, before I begin, just to let you know that I am not in my usual recording space, so the audio might be a bit different. Hopefully you can still hear me just fine, and yeah, let's begin. I just want to leave another quick comment before I actually begin counting down my picks. Just like I said, these are my favorite artists right now. A year ago, some of these names wouldn't even be up in this list. 3 years ago, I wouldn't have even known about some of these, let alone have them on my top 10 list. And that's because people change. And I start exploring different genres, different artistry and sounds. I design a whole new vibe for me, and I know that some of these choices will feel too obvious or too dull. I don't know, but I think my taste can be seen as too general, too unoriginal, perhaps. That's just because I connect to the artists and their words, not to genres or rhythms, even though sometimes it might seem like it. I just want you to know that I just enjoy these three 4-minute stories that these artists tell in their songs, and I try to see if I can draw some bridges between my life experience and the tracks, the songs. So keep that in mind as I go through my list. My friends might be surprised at some choices. And yeah, like I said, my taste will change over time. Maybe in a year I'll do another top 10 favorite musical artists right then, in a year's time, and the list will probably be very, very different. And yeah, let's begin. At number 10, Ed Sheeran. There was a time, a long time ago, when Ed Sheeran was my favorite singer of all time. When his album Divide was released, I devoured it completely and without hesitations, with tracks such as Happier, Dive, and especially Supermarket Flowers being my personal highlights from that collection. Since then, we haven't heard much about Ed, as he only released the number 6 collaborations projects in 2019 and the song Afterglow a few weeks ago, actually. None of which attracted me too much, I'm afraid, but classics like Give Me Love, Thinking Out Loud, and the A-Team absolutely scream talent. They scream art and define who Ed Sheeran is as a musical Hall of Famer. But my personal favorite Ed song of all time, one of my all-time favorites of any musician actually, is Photograph. Like I said, in many previous episodes, this song is nostalgia to me, and I am all about nostalgia, and I adore the song. I think the lyrics are perfect, and the rhythm is full of heart and soul, and I hope that after Ed gets a well-deserved break from the spotlight, and after becoming a great dad, I'm sure he already is, I hope he gives us one last gift, one last album to further solidify his place in music history. At number 9, Noah Cyrus, Miley Cyrus's little sister, that has shown great promise and grand distinction from her more famous sibling. And Noah's songs feel more raw to me. The themes she explores are stuff that I can connect to on a deeper level, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she will offer us next. My favorite song of hers is The End of Everything, released last year in the summer. And although the title and the first verse feel pretty gloomy and dark, the message behind it is actually quite sweet and hopeful, a true lesson on life on Earth, in my opinion. July and Stay Together were bigger hits, but Lonely and Young and Sad are much more vulnerable, and I'm really appreciative of artists that go out of their comfort zone and share with us their deepest fears and feelings, and Noah does just that with her songs. So she is one of my favorite artists right now. At number 8, Finneas. If by any chance you don't know who this record producer is, he is sometimes regarded and known as the older brother of Billie Eilish, for whom he produces and writes many songs. And however, despite that, his own career as a singer-songwriter is finally getting the recognition he deserves, with his 2019 album Blood Harmony getting some praise and attention, with songs like Let's Fall in Love for the Night and Break My Heart Again amongst fan favorites. Still, his most recent singles, Where the Poison Is and What They'll Say About Us, are my favorite Finneas songs, as they tackle two very important matters, in my opinion, and show us a bit more regarding his personality, perspective, attitude on the world around us. But, yes, his collaboration with Sister Billie has won him 5 out of the 6 Grammys he now owns. And if that still doesn't surprise you or entice you, just know that he is only 23 years old. A couple of years older than me, actually. Crazy stuff. I feel kind of bad for myself. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what he does next. At number 7, Jessie Reyez. This Canadian singer-songwriter has been getting increasing fame for her unique voice and intense lyrics, with her last album, Before Love Came to Kill Us, released last year, skyrocketing her career with tracks like Love in the Dark and her collaboration with Eminem called Coffin being my personal favorites, as well as the album-titled song, Before Love Came to Kill Us, being one of my favorites as well. And she also sings in Spanish sometimes, since her parents are Colombian, and the song La Memoria is a great example of her versatility as an artist. Also, to those of you who don't know, she has also penned the hit single One Kiss, a song by Calvin Harris featuring Dua Lipa, which I think is really cool. And between other cool collaborations and some really great songs, Jessie Reyez holds the raw, grounded grit and resilience in the musical arena, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more about her future projects. At number 6, Imagine Dragons. This renowned band has released so many great tunes, such as Thunder, Believer, and Radioactive in these past 12 years of their career. And even though they haven't really released new music since 2018, which is a shame, I still get excited every time I listen to a classic of theirs, or if I find a new love for an old song that I hadn't really listened to, that hadn't really caught my attention before. Lead singer Dan Reynolds is such a kind soul, as are the rest of the group, and their talent and passion are felt through their music. I adore the hit singles that I mentioned before, of course, But tracks like Demons, Stuck, and Next to Me are some of my favorite music from Imagine Dragons. I just connect to those songs a tad more. Hopefully soon, very soon, we hear more about what they've been up to musically, and the new Imagine Dragons album is so very welcome. So chop chop guys, we are ready for it. At number 5, JP Saxe. If there is only one song you connect to JP Saxe, it's probably his collaboration with his talented girlfriend and singer Julia Michaels, their hit single If the World Was Ending, which became not only a duo for the ages, but a hauntingly beautiful reminder of the importance of love and touch in a period of our lives where both became somewhat stranded in the past. JP is a vintage, hopeless romantic, releasing tracks like A Little Bit Yours, Hold It Together, and more recently Line by Line, featuring Maren Morris, which further prove the lovebird behind the lyrics. His song 25 in Barcelona is, in my opinion, one of his best and less known tracks, feeling more like a story than a song. And yeah, all songs are narratives, of course, but this one in specific is particularly cinematic, let's say, at least for me. And JP he still hasn't released an album just yet, so hopefully we get one this year. And yeah, I think he's a great guy. Really cool to see what he does next, and he's been sharing new projects, just like I said, Line by Line, and another collaboration with his girlfriend Julia Michaels a couple of months ago. I am forgetting what the name is. Oh my god. Anyway, and yeah, hopefully an album is released this year. We don't know. He hasn't been saying much about that, but I'm pretty sure it is. At number 4, NF. This rapper has released 4 albums over the course of 4 years, more or less, with his latest, The Search, published in 2019. And all of his music is so damn powerful and personal. How he reminisces about his life experiences, his struggles and fears, vulnerabilities and sorrows is so wow. Just wow. Some songs I can connect to straight away, and others tap into themes I don't directly link to my individual experience, but stuff I can usually draw some similarities with. And to me, NF is great at writing these deeply emotional, visceral tales of loss, love, and life, and exposing himself to his fans, to the world, in a way that is so very honorable and authentic. He shares with us his wounds, and he teaches us how to heal from them, how to let go, move on, be better. My Stress, I Miss the Days, and Hate Myself are some of his strongest, unmasked, and extremely expressive titles, and the terribly sad song How Could You Leave Us will make everyone, everywhere shed a tear for his pain. I highly recommend anyone to listen to this great man. Before I reveal my top 3 picks, here are some honorable mentions. Sam Smith has not only a splendid singing voice, but also an amazing arsenal of heartbreaking songs to accompany his talent. Burning and Palace are some of my favorite Sam Smith songs because I listened to them all the time during my first university semester, and they worked as sort of allies in that daunting, exhilarating period of my life. So I appreciate those very, very much. Niall Horan has made a name out of himself after his One Direction days, reinforcing himself as a capable Irish singer-songwriter. His latest album, released in 2020, is called Heartbreak Weather, and it's very much a pop collection, while his first album can be easily connected to country, folk, pop, and soft rock music, and it includes two of my favorite Nile tracks, Flicker, which is also the name of the album, and Seeing Blind, a collaboration with Maren Morris. Last but not least, Halsey is another gifted, brilliant singer-songwriter with songs like Finally and Graveyard completely luring me into her music. Of course, her hit single, Without Me, is unquestionably her most popular banger, and deservedly so, but Halsey has much more depth and range than that, and I'm really glad I took the time to explore more of her music. Moving on, at number 3, Lewis Capaldi. This guy, let me tell you, he's not just another singer-songwriter from Scotland. He's the whole package, a true entertainer in every sense of the word, and he possesses a powerhouse of a voice. He's extremely funny, hilarious even, and in a couple of months, his popularity grew so freaking much with the release of his debut album, Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent, and the increasing fame of his most popular song, Someone You Loved, which broke records and expectations as it kept its place on the world's top 100 billboards for months on end. Although I love that song, Forever, Bruises, and Hollywood are my personal favorites of him, and I'm not even getting into his unreleased beautiful songs that I put on repeat on YouTube. Plus his covers of other popular songs like Adele's Somebody Like You, Julia Michaels' Issues, and the Jonas Brothers' Sucker are also freaking brilliant. He really has an angelic energy in his voice, and everyone who dislikes the self-declared Scottish Beyoncé and America's sweetheart, well, Lewis has something to say about that. At number 2, Billie Eilish. This 19-year-old has broken many records and has collected several awards and nominations. In fact, she is the youngest person and first female to win the 4 main Grammy categories in the same year. The talent on this lady is phenomenal, and it will only grow in time. Her music just references all kinds of socially valuable themes, such as climate crisis, women empowerment, patriarchy, vicious habits, even her favorite TV show, and more importantly, mental health. Tracks like All the Good Girls Go to Hell, Everything I Wanted, and My Future are so significant and special in their own right, and the way to communicate through her music how important such topics are and how discussion is to be advised and fomented. But I am particularly fond of the tracks Listen Before I Go and 8. Billie just has, within a few years, become a true global icon, and she has inspired and motivated many young women and children, which I always find touching and liberating, especially when her relationship with the limelight can at times feel like a toll rather than a gift, which is why I am so proud, if I am allowed to say that even, that she has evolved throughout her career and teenage years into the talented woman she is now, and I am crossing my fingers for a second album soon, hopefully still in 2021. But at number 1 is an artist that I chose to explore last summer in great detail and with great determination, and I am so glad I did so. And this will surprise many people who know me, especially my closest friends with whom I share little similarities in music taste. But my favorite musical artist right now is Mr. Harry Styles, of One Direction fame from the start of the last decade and of his own since his 2017 self-titled debut album. He has released Fine Line, his second musical compilation, on the 13th of December 2019. That was the album that got me hooked on his music, really. But what got me hooked on Harry was actually Harry himself. The magic of TikTok kept recommending me Harry Styles videos in August, as well as some One Direction interview clips. And his personality is so charming, so open and enticing. He is truly an amazing human being, so generous and grounded, despite his fame and looks. And even though I am a huge fan of his songs, from Canyon Moon to Cherry, from Sweet Creature to the profound and personal favorite Falling, even though I found his second album so pleasant and colorful, it is Harry the individual, Harry the man, Harry the human, not Harry the musician, that I absolutely adore. His message and later song, Treat People with Kindness, is enough of a reason for you to fall in love with him. I am hoping that he releases a third album really soon, by the end of the year perhaps, but because he is a man of many talents, he will probably be busy developing his acting career after his cinematic debut in Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, and he will be following that with Don't Worry Darling, an Olivia Wilde film, already filming, with Harry playing Jack alongside Florence Pugh's Alice. I'm really excited for that, but I still hope that his musical career is kept alive in this following year, because I am dying, I think all the fans are dying for more Harry Styles content. And just like I said, I cannot stress this enough. It's because Harry is such a great person, a great human being, so kind, so grounded, so cool, and so open, and vulnerable, and self-expressed, if that's even something to say. That is the only reason why I fell in love with his music, because first I saw the man and then I saw the musician, and through that journey that I took in August, when I discovered my appreciation, my love for his tracks, that's why I got so hooked on Harry Styles. I think everyone should have a listen to him. Even if you don't like pop music or these types of songs, just have a look, have a listen, I mean, and let me know what you thought, because right now, Mr. Harry Styles is my favorite musician. And we have reached the end of this episode, guys. My top 10 favorite musical artists right now. What are you listening to these days? Who is helping brighten up your day? Do you keep a never-changing couple of artists and bands on shuffle, or does your taste change in time, just like mine, with the flow and by exploring other genres and singers? Just let me know. Recommend me some songs even. I'd love to expand my musical collection and become a fan of your favorite musical artists. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. The links to those accounts are linked in the podcast description, so send me a message. For today, though, that is all. This has been Just One More Opinion. I've been Charlie, and you have been harmonious. Take care and goodbye.